Hello, everybody. I'm back with another free business consulting video. And today's topic I'm going to speak on is, or uh, I'll just say what I wrote at as an introduction to the essay that I wrote, giving this free info, right? What is a good way to predict what can happen or have a good estimate on what will happen? So that's very, very general. I didn't even say what could happen in your business. I'm speaking about business and, just some general stuff in life as well to maybe use it as a comparison to help get the point across. One thing that I will say real quick before I jump in is I do segue a lot. And also, these are from essays that I typed up very, very quickly. And I post them on social media, on a page that I do use to market. I use this page to do online marketing, which I'll talk about later. But because I typed up these very, very quickly and they're very, very long essays, what happens is there's typos and wording that was out of place. So as I'm rereading it now, months later, and repurposing the same essay content on YouTube to give away free advice, to help people, and also, kind of market what I'm doing. But that's if they choose to go and learn more after I give them this free info that can help them without me needing to help them personally. I just give out the free info to help, just want to give value. But here's the thing, right? Because I typed these essays so fast, the wording will be out of place and it can mess up the flow of what I'm saying. But we'll try to, figure that out on the fly as much as I can so it does not mess up the flow, which is what I have been doing a bit more recently. So I noticed more recent videos, I've been cleaning that up a bit more. Even though things that might have been out of place, I still put it together, right? So now to continue, or let me just restart what I said and then continue on. So what's a good way to predict what can happen, or have a good estimate on what will happen? Next, I'll say you have two solid starting points. You can either go off of past experience or you can go off of what you know is a fact. What you know is a fact or what you know was a fact, because there's things can change in business already, obviously, right? So based on information, or things can change in anywhere, right? So if you know something that was a fact before, that's something to keep in mind, because history could repeat itself. Or you can use understanding how and why that was a fact to help you create a new solution or new answer for current times, right? So based on information you have received with proof to actually prove that the information is reliable and something you can actually depend on. So that's where you get your facts from, right? For example, someone gives you a formula to get a result and they show you actual proof revealing that the formula will be able to bring forth the proof if repeated. So say someone shows you that they did specific things and got specific results. What happens is, if they show you the proof that they got the results, maybe in screenshots, maybe in video recording, whatever, and they're telling you this is still applicable now, if you do exactly what I did, maybe it's not copy and paste, but like you're copying and paste the same strategy at least. You're not gonna, they're sending emails, you're not gonna put their name in your email, obviously. Didn't even have to say that. But if you copy and paste the actual strategy or the method they're telling you you can get the same results as well. Maybe that varies, but maybe it's true and they actually have proof to show you, right? Just like if you're trying to get customers, you can show them proof of your past results, like via testimonials, via reviews, via actually literally documenting what happened with pictures and images and things you typed up at certain times with the date on it. And you can put packages all together so that they can actually see proof that you have gotten results before. So maybe you can get them results, or you have delivered a product. So now you can deliver this product to them as well. All right. So they need proof they're not going to get scammed, right? So aka if you get this information from someone else, you have to make sure it's true. Can they show you proof? Or is there something are they gaining your trust in some other way that it would make sense for you to purchase the information they're giving you. Maybe you have past experience helping you to have the discernment to understand what they're saying is true or not. Because you're already in this field and trying to figure out results, and maybe you have a bunch of pieces of the puzzle but no solution, and they actually call out all the pieces to your puzzle before you even said it when they're explaining how they can get you a result, and then they just piece it together for you with extra things you didn't know about yet, or specific things you might not have been aware of, and then now it all makes sense. So maybe that's where you get your proof, right? Like, so the person knows what they're talking about, and you know that they know what they're talking about because they're speaking about things you have experience with, which makes it relatable, and they're saying that without knowing your situation. They're saying it because they know what you went through. So maybe they can give you relatable information, right? I'm just kind of segueing a lot on, if you're going to find mentors or people will sell you information to get results, like, these are things to keep in mind, obviously, right? You either need proof, or you believe their words because their words are actually extremely relevant to you. And they don't have to even know you personally to be saying something relevant, because maybe they tried your path and it didn't work, and they tried a bunch of paths you work and it didn't work, and then they figured out a formula out of all those things, and you were just on the verge of doing that, but it might have taken you many more months. So that's why you'd end up paying a mentor could be quite a bit of money for them to actually just tell you in a few sentences and give you a plan, right? And then bada bing, bada boom, or whatever. Now you have your results because you've now followed something that will work, and you have proof that it will work. And then now you have a bright future ahead of you with whatever it is you're trying to do, right? Blah, blah, blah. All the extra segue. And I'm just going to continue. So let's say, so they show you actual proof revealing the formula that will actually be able to bring forth the proof if repeated by you. That means you actually you have a part in this. You actually have to do what the formula they're showing you. If you don't do it, then you won't get the results, right? Then I say that because some of these things they could show you might not be easy, but you have to, now that you know it's a fact that this can get work, you have to do that thing that's not easy. So that's another thing. There's a lot of people that they won't do something because it's not easy. So they got the keys to open the treasure chest, but they didn't like the fact that it was going to be hard to turn the key. But that hard turning the key is what can get you the results. Maybe you'll find other ways to get results as well, but this is a way. So if you don't use this, then you're now missing out on the gains belong to you if you can just turn the key. But if you don't want to put in the effort to do that, now you're not going to have it, right? Okay, so next, you can also have general ideas or vague ideas in info, which means you have less of a prediction and more of an idea that you are at least heading in the direction you want, right? So, for example, you might not know exactly what to put in an email or exactly what to say on a cold call, but if you're just sending the email and intentionally thinking about what might work and try that even if it doesn't work, or pick up the phone and make a call, what might make sense for me to say at all, and you try intentionally, that's at least the right direction. At least you're trying to get the offer in front of somebody. And then now that you can either luckily get a sale just because they've seen it and they were in need at the right time of what you were offering, or they were in want of what you need, they were in want of what you were offering at the right time, or they say no, and then you have your first data point. They said no to this. All right, cool. You don't even have to change it. It was your first time. Now do, over the course of however long it takes, hundreds of more calls and emails, and either before you get to those numbers, higher numbers, you're going to start figuring out what changes you need to make, and you already were in the right direction by at least starting. If you didn't start yet, now you're not even able to think about corrections you could be making. But start, you might get hundreds of no's, but not even get answers, but at least you're getting the experience of doing the thing. And as it's going, you could get a bunch of no's, you could get some yeses, you could get some maybes, but you're at least now getting experience that you can document, so that now after you have tons of reps, like maybe at rep 500, the first idea pops in your head of something you can do better, and you can look at your past documentation of what's happened to actually use that as a factor to make a good decision about what changes you can make to get better results. Right. What things were they objecting to? What things were they going along with? And you could figure out how to handle the objections before they happen. You can figure out how to make sure you're doubling down or having maybe in the beginning of the title or the paragraph the things that they want to see that will make them open it and read more and ask for more information. What are the things that are getting your foot in the door so you can even start your funnel, and then you could get no's at the beginning of the funnel, but then eventually learn how to get them further through the funnel. Like, so it's just a process, but you need to start in the right direction by even starting anywhere at all, right? And then just document, and then use critical thinking to figure out like what is going to make more sense as you now have data to work with, right? You can also have, okay, so I already said that. So I said, for example, want to make a sale while not knowing what to do to get one. Well, you can look up general ways or methods to do so, and start taking action without having a plan that involves any types of things that may help you make the sale faster. So basically, in the next sentence, I said something that I had segued into, but in shorter wording. Someone can give you a script, a list of niches or a list of places to call, and a list of types of companies or people who need your product or service. These would help you find the person or place you can sell to faster than you looking up general free info and trying to build a list and call not knowing what to say. All right, so that was me kind of mentioning mentors or people who have information that they can give you, right? Which would be like maybe more of a head start, right? Then next I said, but even if you don't know what to say and who to call, your effort and time put in calling these places and finding these places won't go to waste. You're still heading in the right direction as you are trying to make a sale with the current level of information you have access to during this vague phase or beginning phase where you just might not have any data or experience to work with, right? You will either succeed and make a sale, or you will learn things that will help you. Maybe you find out that you chose the wrong niche, as they are mostly not in need of your product. So if you call a whole bunch and they're just not even in need, like it's not even that they're saying no, they're covered. If you hear no, they're covered by somebody else, that's at least good. If you hear no, they don't, if like nearly 100% of them, no, we don't actually need that, maybe you have to change niches, right? So yeah, they might not be in need of your product, or maybe you can find that you can say certain things when you call. You can call at certain times and offer certain information or structure what you say, and when you say it differently, that can literally get you further in the conversation or further down the funnel, literally. In the last video, I spoke a ton about that. To get people to give you a chance to say more. Okay, so that was a continuation of the sentence. Let me just repeat it. You call at certain times and offer certain information or structure what you say, and when you say it differently, to get people to give you a chance to say more, leading to you closing the sale on the call or getting a maybe, talk more later, as opposed to a no. After putting a lot of time in, your ability to communicate certain things without even trying, and the vibe you give off will actually start helping you to be able to succeed more itself, as repetition isn't just conscious, but it's also subconscious. Just like you are continuously trying to do and figure out what will help you succeed, you are going to start passively doing these things. And the ideas that pop in your head after putting in time in different phases aren't just random. It's subconscious pattern recognition happening from many, many different exposure scenarios in this thing you are trying to do, where the brain comes up with new methods to try and trial, which may help you succeed, and it may not succeed, but it will open up your awareness to other things that could work. And you can also, if you see something doesn't succeed, you can eliminate that off the list and never do it again unless you see some reason to do so. But also through process of elimination, you're also now have less things to try out that you can use time and energy on, and which opens you up to more possibilities that do work, or you're only focusing on the things that work, right? So you're narrowing down into figuring out what works. This was an example on making calls, but the main idea is that you're simply trying it all, bringing you in the right direction and helping you pave your way, even if you don't have a way yet. Same thing with emails and social media strategies as well. Keep trying and give it time to build, write down, and document everything you do, including your current strategy you are using in any area, and give it time and grade it based on what type of result it gives. From progress on any level, including even the slightest thing, to actually hitting the goal. Track the momentum, or if momentum gets built as well, or if progress gets built upon as well. When you see results start to improve, use your tracked evidence to try and narrow down exactly what things were being implemented leading up to any progress at all, and keep that noted. After enough time, you will have actual formulas that move the needle in terms of getting you the results you want. And with enough constant needle moving, you start having a method to get you a certain amount of results on command. So you can actually see results routinely from things you figured out that are working consistently, right? Which you can then use to start being able to do math on being able to, quote unquote, predictably get results, or make estimates, quote unquote, on how to get certain amounts of results for time put in. So now you call it prediction, but it's really that you have enough data to actually make an educated guess based on something that is working. And literally the only reason it wouldn't work anymore is if the market literally changed at that point. If the market changed and what you're selling is not in demand anymore, that's what would throw a wrench in the machine, right? Otherwise, it's going to work, right? That's how other businesses, maybe they don't use the word prediction, but they understand that they should be making a certain amount monthly, right? It's because they figured that out, or they gained that information from somewhere, and then they're implementing it consistently, exactly what needs to get done, and then they're getting the results for it, right? They're continuously doing what works, and it's continuously getting results. So their reality is that, yes, they're going to make a certain amount of money per month, or a threshold of that, right? Which is, they can say it's a prediction. It's really just a prediction is just a shortened way of saying you have an educated guess or an educated assumption based on actual facts. Facts that you've seen something can work, and facts that you've made it work, and facts that it's been working so long that why shouldn't it work now unless something else popped up, which would then call for innovation or further marketing, because maybe the thing that popped up was another competitor that's outdoing them and taking their customers, or maybe the market changed, which could mean changing of the products or services, right? Otherwise, they're just going to get the results. As long as a population of people are still aware that they exist and need what they are offering, right? They're just going to keep getting it because that's value that they need for any reason, and that's what keeps a business in existence financially. All right, so let me just find where I was. So I said, again, you can also just receive this info from a credible source, as credible sources are out there that can show you what they do and how they get results, what results they get, and the proof that they can do it, leading you to now investing money in that knowledge so that you can have the ability to generate results on demand too, as well, right? Just like them, you can get the results that they're getting, or the type of results that they're getting, or build up to it. Or if you haven't gotten results yet, now you can finally get results because they just gave you a pathway, right? And proof that they can do it. Okay, so I said that. All right, so what I'll say next is, and what's next in the essay, to be honest, let me just word it like that. It's up to you. You can now put time in and build up having information that will give you the leverage to generate results, or you can invest in a credible source to give you this knowledge on generating, or this knowledge of generating results. I think both is good. Start with nothing and start building while seeking out things that can help you once you find credible help. So just start anyway. You're going in the right direction, but also keep your eyes open and even seek out credible information that you can use to shorten your pathway towards getting the results. So that's today's essay. Didn't segue too much, so that didn't take as much time as usual. All right, so what I'll say here is, I mentioned I do marketing earlier. I do. You can find my Facebook link at the link in bio on YouTube. There, even if you don't get help from me, I literally post more of these essays where I give out free business consulting info on a weekly basis. So if you can get value here, you can get value there. That's more current stuff. I've been doing this for many months. And it's been over a span of a year that any of these paragraphs have been happening. It was on and off for a while, but it's getting more consistent, obviously. And what happens is, if you want further help with further marketing on anywhere on social media, including Google, you can send me a DM and just send me a DM and say you're interested in online marketing or whatever. Just say hi, and then you can bring that up whenever. But if you do let me know that's what you need, I will be answering your DM much sooner. I do use that Facebook for marketing as well to find clients. So it's hundreds of DMs going on and hundreds of friend requests being sent out on a weekly basis, for me to then send out more DMs to people and that's how I get my clients. But what happens is I'm branching out to YouTube to get more eyeballs, obviously, and help more people for free. And then if you want more help, on top of the free info I'm giving, because the free info can just get you results or whatever. There's things you probably know or you could find somewhere else if you're looking for info, or you literally learn this from experience. And maybe I'm saying, if you're very experienced in business, you probably know all this stuff, where you stumble upon it on accident, or maybe this is helping you get results. And if you're new to business, this stuff can help you a ton, because people can teach you how to set something up, or teach you how to, all right, you can start marketing with running ads or doing emails or doing calls or doing social media. Well, I'm taking you a step further and saying, well, how should you go about it, and what should you keep in mind if you start doing any marketing at all, which can help you bridge the gap to your first sale faster, instead of you having to figure out all these things over a span of like multiple years and thousands of hours, right? So you can get results off of this. Could take time, but that's the nature of business. Takes time, and then you're now making money online. Now you don't have to have a job anymore if you're making enough, and then your reality has changed, that you're now pretty much self-employed. That's a big deal. Most people can't do that. Look at the percentages of businesses or startups that fail within the first few years, even if they make a sale, because maybe they don't have what it takes to some extent. Maybe they just don't want to do it anymore, which is fine. The discipline factor, maybe that burns out from some people, but other people understand that no, they're not gonna, even if they're tired, get more sleep and ration out how they're living and schedule things and find a way to keep going, right? So that you can use your mental strength and endurance to continue and get these results. And yeah, you can scale to the point where you're making so much profit that you can outsource everything and automate everything, and then you're not actually doing anything and still getting paid, right? That's up to you, right? It's up to you what you want to do and how far you want to take it. But most people do not succeed at this. And the people who don't quit, and they're trying to figure out what works. And yeah, you can naturally figure a bunch of things out. And then there's people giving you information that you could pay hundreds of if not thousands of dollars for. That's legit. There's people giving info, but maybe not giving the full story. So there's a bunch of people who can claim people are scammers, that they didn't get results. But there's people are giving you information that gives results. And that information they're giving you can be very, very difficult to implement. And they'll literally tell you, they'll say, yeah, you're going to pay the people will give you information that costs $1,000 and it will 100% work. But they're going to tell you it's going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done, and you're not going to like it. They'll actually tell you this, and they'll tell you that it's going to take a long time, but it can actually give you consistent results if you follow it. Like, there's people out there really giving out real info, and I'm doing it as well, and I'm literally putting it for free so that you don't have to now go through the years and months that I was literally marketing things consistently while having other stuff going on in my life, but kept going until I literally figured out things. And I'm speaking from experience. But if you just know this and not have to figure it out, it can shave off time towards you getting your first sale with something, right? And you can make sales without my help with marketing, blah, blah, blah. But to get back to my point, as a matter of fact, I would prefer you use this information and get sales, because what happens is you can get sales, probably get enough to even stabilize yourself. Yeah, it could take time, but like, that's the nature of anything, literally. If you're going to get good at anything and get results from it, or it can happen immediately, who knows? But at least you're pointed in the right direction with valuable information. But you can get enough sales that you can decide, you know what? He gave me free information. I'm making enough money to be fine, and I can actually afford marketing. You know what? I'll go see what his marketing is. And then guess what? You show up to me and then get marketing help from me. Now I help you scale. So I hope you get free results, whether you were going to do that through me or not. You got some results either elsewhere or through this free help I'm giving. And then you decide you want to scale further. Well, I can help you scale further very, very quickly. So what happens is, if you show up and if you come to my Instagram and let me know that you would like help with, or you're interested with the marketing, you can mention that you came via YouTube or whatever, so I know that, you know, the funnel from YouTube is producing results at all or whatever. Because it's still very, I've only posted one video so far, and I'm scheduling videos weeks out by the time I'm recording this right now, right? So I didn't even really have to say that, as I'll just see how it plays out. But you could tell me you came from the YouTube video. Just let me know if that information helped or not, if you want to say that. But if you just want the help and just want to get to the point, you can say that. Then I'll tell you what I can do to help you and exactly what we're going to do and why it works. There's actually proof there was proof on the news that what I'm doing works, right? So I literally will point you to the proof explaining why what I do works. And then after you hear what I can do and how I'm going to do it, you can decide if we're a good fit for you. And then if you decide we're a good fit, then we can start right then and there or whatever, or whenever you're ready to start. So that's marketing anywhere in social media. It's paid ads. It's going to be paid ads. If you want to do organic stuff, literally what I'm telling you is organic stuff, which you could do yourself, and you could probably pay someone much cheaper to do all this organic stuff as well, especially if you've made profit from it and you're scaled enough to be able to afford paid ads and marketing. Like, you could just outsource that to somebody else to handle. Obviously, go to a trusted freelancer website, or maybe someone in your family that you trust, and then you have them do that. So you can expand your organic marketing as well. You can make more social media accounts. You can have more people making calls. You can have more email marketing campaigns done by multiple people, and you give them all the scripts, or you give them all the scripts for the emails or the numbers or what to do on the social media profiles. Because what happens is, if you do the organic stuff yourself and you figure out what actually works, then you can just tell your workers to replicate exactly. You can figure. That's why I say document it as well, because it's not, you can actually remember it without documenting it. If you're that serious about something, you could probably just remember it, but you need to document it, because not only will help you figure out what to eliminate and what to keep so you can get results faster or streamline into that faster. You can literally, when you're deciding, all right, I want to write up a plan for other people I'm going to delegate this to, or when I'm going to automate all this, you can go to your notes and use your notes to write out the exact plan instead of having to think of it off the top of your head. And it could be a long plan. You be telling people, all right, here's how you start the social media account. Here's how you warm it up. Here's the exact amount of messages and where to find the people and the exact scripts and the wording and all that. You could just actually build it from the notes or whatever, that you've taken on what's going on. Before you even think about hiring, you can have the strategy written down because you've been tracking everything, right? Which in the last video I was talking about tracking. Then you can automate it, right? And then even scale by yourself, literally, just by furthering and it could, like I said, it could take time, but just by furthering out how much organic marketing is happening, like if you have more accounts marketing everything, that can expand before you even need ads or whatever. Yeah, it's going to be more stuff going on, but yeah, paid ads is another way. Maybe paid ads is even sooner. Who knows? Because maybe you have enough brand awareness, now paid ads just cause everything to blow up way faster. And the brand awareness, yes, will get built through the organic growth already. So the paid ads is a perfect booster on top of the organic free info I'm giving you. And if you're interested, like I said, you go to my link in bio. The link in my bio is to my Facebook. You just message me and say, you can say anything, but the sooner you tell me that you're there for help with marketing, I might not answer your DM for days if I don't know that's what you DM me for, right? But the moment I know, okay, this person is interested in what I'm offering, I will answer you back within 24 hours. And if we're in a campaign, I'm answering you back throughout the entire day, literally. So that's the priority of how I'll do it. Like, if we start a campaign and you paid me, I'm answering you back literally the moment I'm checking my phone throughout the day, and the moment I see you message me, I'm going to answer back whatever you said. Or you wanted to see how the campaign's going, you want me to take screenshots and send you a report, I will do that as soon as possible, because now I'm on the clock basically if you hire me, right? But other than that, there's hundreds of other DMs. So if you, like I said, if you come to my Facebook, just you let me know that if that's what you're interested in. And then if you don't even care about that and you just want more free information, you can just scroll down my page and see it. It's all posted there for free. So whoever tuned in, super duper thanks. And I hope this information helped, and have a good day.